Most people think prayer is about getting God to move. What if the truth is the exact opposite, that the moment you stop pushing, everything begins to shift? There was a quiet morning when Joel Goldsmith realized this, and it turned his entire life into a stream of unlikely healings and effortless answers. No thunder, no visions, just a change in awareness so pure it ended the struggle. Tonight I'll show you how that same shift can happen in you, and why the prayer you stop praying may be the one that transforms everything. Picture this. You sit down to pray for someone you love. Health, money, peace, and you're ready with all the right words. Then something interrupts the effort, a simple, undeniable knowing. I am not separate from the presence I am trying to reach. In that split second, begging collapses into beholding. You're no longer reporting problems to a distant power. You're becoming transparent to a presence that was never absent. Goldsmith's genius wasn't a new technique. It was a reversal. He discovered that the more we tried to twist reality with spiritual effort, bargaining, visualization, the more we confirm a subtle lie. I'm here, God is there, and lack fills the space between. Beholding ends that lie. It's quiet receptivity to what already is, an awareness that love, intelligence, life are present before we ask. Beneath the fear, beyond the noise. What does that feel like in practice? It's surprisingly ordinary. You sit in alert stillness and release the urge to fix. Thoughts arise. You don't fight them. You return gently to that sense of inner openness. The way you know you're breathing without thinking about it. It's not concentration. It isn't spacing out. It's consent to reality as God sees it. 10 honest seconds of this are more potent than 10 frantic minutes of requests. From that ground, 3 practical shifts follow. First, impersonalizing the problem. We stamp our name on pain, my illness, my debt, my broken heart, then carry it like identity. Impersonalization loosens that grip. You begin to see every appearance of lack as a very old, very convincing story the human mind tells when it imagines itself apart from source. You're not denying symptoms or bales. You're refusing to crown them ultimate truth. As the clutch of mind relaxes, fear loses oxygen. Second, gaining altitude. At sea level, the air is thick with opinions, panic, and timeline. Most prayer happens there and drowns there. Altitude is a felt shift into clarity. Nothing external changed, yet everything looks different. You aren't pushing outcomes. You're perceiving from above them. From altitude, guidance arrives without drama. A call to make, a word to say, a step to take. The action is practical, but the pressure is gone. Third, consistency over intensity. Transformation isn't won in a weekend. It's the rhythm of brief, faithful returning 5 or 10 minutes in the morning. Tiny pauses through the day, a soft check-in before sleep. You are tuning consciousness the way a musician tunes an instrument. Not once, but as a way of living. Consistency rewires you to recognize presence faster than anxiety can recruit you. Let me paint 3 living rooms where this shift matters. In the body, a diagnosis lands like a hammer. The reflex is to plead for power to enter and fix what's wrong. Beholding flips that arrow. You recognize that life has presence. Not theory couldn't be more in you than it already is. You don't pretend symptoms aren't there. You stop granting them the last word. The body stops being a battlefield and becomes a classroom for trust. In provision, when numbers squeeze, we chase money's shadow and call it security. Goldsmith's insight was simple. The real need is never cash, but the qualities we think cash buys: freedom, safety, sufficiency. Those are spiritual facts before they are balances. Beholding those facts dislodges panic. From that calm, opportunities show up that urgency would have blinded you to. In relationships, we secretly try to use spirituality to adjust other people. That is manipulation in a tuxedo. Beholding is different. You release the project of fixing and choose to see the person as more than your story about them. Often, the atmosphere changes without a summit meeting. If it doesn't, you still chain clearer boundaries without bitterness, cleaner words without spikes, the courage to stay or to go without blame. But what if nothing happens? That's the confession most students whisper after a week. Here's the tender truth. The first weeks are about detoxing from spiritual control. The ego is addicted to managing outcomes. It will call stillness, laziness, smile, and return. You aren't performing. You're consenting. Results emerge as a byproduct of recognition, not as payment for perfect practice. Another common snag is practicing with a hidden agenda. I am beholding, so that X will happen. Notice, though, hook. The mind just rehired lack as your coach. During practice, let outcomes rest. Recognition is sufficient. Ironically, when you stop using presence to get, you become porous to the good that was already flowing. So what does a simple daily rhythm look like? Morning, sit comfortably. Breathe slowly. Whisper inwardly here, already. Let the body soften. If thoughts crowd, acknowledge and return. Be still and know. End with willingness. Guide me without strain. During the day before difficult calls or tense moments, pause for 30 seconds. Remember presence. Evening review. The day without judgment. Where did you remember presence? Where did you forget? Bring both to silence. Gratitude, not grading. Over time, 3 quiet fruits ripen. Stability, synchronicity, and reorientation. You don't become superhuman, you become more human. Undefended, compassionate, available. That's where grace does its clearest work. If one sentence could summarize what Goldsmith concealed, it's this. Stop trying to move God. Let God remove the illusion of distance. When distance dissolves, prayer becomes perception. You don't pull miracles down. You notice reality up close. If this reframed your idea of prayer, honor the shift. Right now pause, breathe, and simply behold. Here, already. If this message helped you, like this video so more seekers find it. Subscribe for deeper dives into mystical practice, and comment I am presence to anchor your intention. And if you'd like a guided beholding session in a future video, tell me below how I'm listening.